And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New Earth TV Live. As you're looking at my work in progress office, it's still a little bit in shambles, but it's coming along. I am in my new home right now, and just debuting this episode in my new house. It's a big, beautiful house. Absolutely love it. Just been organizing this whole past week. We've had a lot of stuff. My girlfriend and I, we both have quite a bit of stuff. We've had to basically order a whole bunch of new furniture, a whole bunch of new stuff. So we're just been spending this whole past week just organizing everything, just getting everything ready. And we're nearly there. So that's the good news. We're about 95% of the way finished. Of course, my office still needs a little bit of touching up. So, but it's getting there. And I'm very happy the way it looks. Or it's going to look, I should say. So hope you are all doing well. I know it's been about just over about 2 weeks since I've done a New Earth TV Live. Unfortunately, I was looking to do a interview with Janine on Friday, but she was not well. Okay, so she was texting me, just said that she's just not able to do it. She's just not feeling too well. And I've actually met quite a few people just as of late who are basically quite sick, right? They either have a bad cold, they have a sore throat, they have chest congestion or something of that nature. So there's definitely something going around, of course. So again, if you guys wanted to send your love, blessings, and even some healing for Janine as well too. I'm going to be contacting her in a couple weeks. I said, no problem, I'll get back to you in a couple weeks. Just take this time just to get well, and then maybe around the end of October or early November, we will try for Janine's interview. All right? So send her love, send her blessings, send her healing. It will certainly help her. Hope you're all doing well. We're just going to go ahead firstly and start off with some announcements, and then we're going to go into today's broadcast. We're basically just going to do about an hour 15 today, because I still got a lot of work to do around the place. So anyways, we'll start off with some announcements. So firstly, we have the promo code October20. Okay, so that's all in capital letters, October20, and you can get 20% off of your order. So this is available now on etherics.co. It is available up until October 13th. Okay. Another thing I'd like to share with you guys are the brand new bundles that we have on etherics.co. So here I am on etherics.co right now. And if you scroll down the page, you'll see this Orgonite, Selenite, Amethyst bundle offer, where you save 20%, which means you can get all three of these products with a 20% discount for each of them if you buy them as a bundle. So this is the brand new Universal Orgonite Pyramid Array. This is what I was talking about, the new 4-inch pyramid. It's about 3 times the size as my previous version of the Orgonite Pyramid, and it's a lot more potent. That's the great news about it. Then the Selenite Healing Amplifier Plate. Okay, that is also available right now. And of course, we have the Amethyst Cluster 3D Array. We have them in hearts, and we have them in the standard clusters as well too. So if you buy them together as a bundle, you save 20%, plus you can use your October 20 discount on top of it as well too, and you'll get up to 40% a discount off. Secondly, we have our Etherics card deck bundle. Now this card deck bundle used to just be for the printed edition, but it's also for the digital edition as well too. So again, you can save 30% through the bundle here. Again, the printed edition, the body deck, the mind deck, and the energy deck. You can get those all together. Now some people have asked me, Brad, are these still the healing code cards? Are they still the exact same cards? Yes, guys, they are the exact same cards, right? They have not changed. Okay, the only thing that's really changed is just the backing, right? Because I've brought Etherics onto them now, okay? But they are still the exact same cards that they have been for years, okay? The same amount of cards, same type of cards as well, too. I'm currently working on the source deck, and I'm hoping to have that ready by the new year. So the body, mind, and energy deck printed editions are available. If we scroll down here, we'll see the energy deck, body deck, and mind deck digital editions, right? So you can buy these three together, 30% off, plus you can add your October 20 discount to it, and you can get them from like half price, all right? That is exceptional. Okay, so again, this also talks about the newest arrivals we have here, right? I also have some updates on the essential oils as well too. We have 2 new essential oils. We have sage and we have rosemary, okay? Rosemary is another positive green vibrational band, which means if you're sick, that's exactly what you should be using. You should be using ylang ylang or rosemary, okay? That is perfect for helping to heal sicknesses. If you guys have a cold, if you guys have chest congestions, if you guys have sore throats, if you guys have skin conditions, okay? If you have eczema, if you have dermatitis, if you have all those particular things, okay, what you should be using is ylang-ylang or rosemary, okay? You want to use that because that contains the green vibration ray. Not only that, but it also contains the source center vibration infused within it, and it also contains the etherics transcendental codes, which means that it penetrates deeper, right? This is not just any particular form of essential oil. These essential oils are specifically designed to go much more deeper on a cellular level to help cleanse you out, right? That's what makes them stand out above the rest. So again, that's something you should be looking into, okay? The Etherics Visor sunglasses, we still have some of them available, right? A lot of people are interested in the clear ones. Guys, it doesn't matter if you have the sunglasses, and it doesn't matter if you have the clear ones. They both work equally, okay? So if you notice that the clear ones are in decline, I am ordering some more. They should be here in the next couple of weeks. But if you notice they're in their decline, just get the sunglasses. Wear your sunglasses indoors. Wasn't it Billy Idol who says, I wear my sunglasses at night? So, I mean, it's okay. Right? Get the sunglasses as well too. Whether you have the clear ones or whether you have the sunglasses, they both work equally. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share here with etherics.co. Again, you can check out these bundles and make sure you get the 20% discount. Again, it's October 20, capital OCTOBER, the number 20, and just put that in your shopping cart just before you check out. All right, moving on. Private sessions, distance healing, and 3 questions by email. You can interact with Adronis through the private sessions or through 3 questions by email. Receive up to 3 healing areas that can be worked on through distance healing. Now, I do have some good news as well too. I'm going to be debuting a brand new full body source healing session in next week's broadcast. Okay, so when I do the signposts this coming Thursday, I'll be making an announcement of a brand new healing session that I have. It is a full body healing session. It's quite powerful, and it's very thorough as well too. It does actually take me a while to work with a single client because I'm basically scanning your entire physical body. I mean, everything. Everything's being scanned, right? So from your major organs, from your glands, from all of your bodily systems, even energy systems as well too. That is an add-on addition should you want to do that. So that'll be debuting on Thursday. And you do not even have to tell me exactly what conditions you have because I will find out for myself, right? Because I'm going to be scanning your body thoroughly and detecting exactly what areas are strong, what areas are weak, and then being able to work with the source vibration to help balance everything out. So it is probably the most sophisticated, the most powerful, and the most thorough healing session I've ever done in my life. That is basically what is ahead here in the next few days. So on Thursday, Signpost Live, I will be debuting that through the announcement of the full body source healing sessions. That's what they're going to be called. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. In the meantime, the distance healing sessions will still be available as well too. If you just want to look into 3 areas, that will still be available. And then of course, the brand new healing session will be coming here and debuting on Thursday. And of course, everything on this YouTube channel is backed up onto Odyssey. You can check out our backup channel on odyssey.com/@NewEarthTeachings. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast. And it looks like we already got quite a few donations already, so that's great to see. I'm going to be bringing Adronis very shortly. He's just going to do a brief interaction here, a brief transmission, as we're going to be exploring something that's referred to as the sphere exercise. Okay, this could be something quite interesting for you to look into. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a moment to bring Adronis through, and he'll talk a little bit more about the sphere exercise. And then we'll get right into questions. After questions, we'll get right into some distance healing as well too. Okay, so like I said, it is kind of a short broadcast today, so I'm only going to be able to take a few questions, and I'm probably only going to do about 2 or 3 people for distance healing. All right, so again, if you want to prioritize yourself to receive that healing, make sure it's a good idea, I would say, to leave a donation. Okay, and that will let me get right to you. All right. Anyways, start off. Let's go ahead and bring Adronis in, and he can talk about the sphere exercise. Here we go. Get myself comfortable first. Okay, there we go. Tera Soul Star, CDS, Adronis. We are here at this time. We bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. We would like to ask all of you at this time to simply let yourselves get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius, so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all of the information that we have to share. Also understand that all of the information that we shall provide today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. We will elaborate pertaining to the exercise which has been termed as the sphere exercise. Now, what this entails is being able to visualize all of your conflicts as bubbles. Being able to visualize everything that takes you out of your harmony, takes you out of peace, as spheres. So, for instance, what we would share with you right now is finding something, recently perhaps, that has made you agitated, irritable, apprehensive, aggressive, anxious. Any particular key word that we have just shared that strikes a chord with you, we would like you just to be aware of that right now. And we want you just to pull up the thought that represents that agitation, that anxiety, whatever it may be. As you are pulling up that thought, we want you to imagine as if a bubble is just coming out of the brow. So just feeling that agitation, that anxiety, that apprehension, that aggressiveness, whatever it may be, and just feeling it coming out of the brow. And as it comes out of the brow, you are seeing it as a bubble. So you are seeing this bubble directly in front of you. And you are seeing the essence contained inside that bubble, representing that feeling, representing that emotion, representing that situation that is actually causing you to feel quite upset. And just looking at that bubble, you may even see visions inside that bubble. You may actually see the event taking place inside that bubble. Or you may just feel a bubble itself. You may just see a color, for example. Inside the bubble, anything is possible. Whether it's a visualization, whether it's a color, whether it's just a feeling. And we want you just to look at that bubble right now. And all we ask you to do is that as you're looking at that bubble, we want you to begin a mental Om chant directly into that bubble until it bursts. That's all you have to do. Looking at this bubble, seeing everything that's within it, whether it's a vision, whether it's a color, whether it's just a feeling. And we want you just to mentally Om chant. And as you're mentally Om chanting, you are projecting that mental Om chant directly into the heart of the bubble. Are you ready? All right, so doing this now. Taking a deep breath in as we will vocalize the Om, and you will mentalize it. Om. And repeat. Breathing in. Om. Repeat again. Om. And just continue to Om chant directly into the heart of that bubble until you see the bubble burst. It really is no more different than when you were a child and your mother took out a large bottle of bubbles and started to blow the bubbles. The soap bubbles are now surrounding you, and you would go and you would try to pop every single one. Well, that's what you're doing right now. This is, in that sense, a very powerful exercise because it helps you to open up your gateway to the inner child a lot more, where you're just seeing these bubbles pop. Because you may have more than one particular bubble that represents an agitation, an anxiety, an apprehension, feeling upset about something, whatever it may be. You're just seeing this as the bubble blower, representing the Anya chakra. And you're blowing that bubble. Just like when your mother was blowing those soap bubbles so that you would have fun as a little kid and start popping those bubbles. That's what you're doing here. This is what we call the sphere exercise. You are seeing the issue. You are seeing the challenge. You are seeing the conflict that is in spherical form. You see everything within that world because that is what the sphere represents. It's showing you the world of the problem. It's showing you the world of the setback, of the challenge. And all you're doing is just simply Om chanting into it until it bursts. You're repeating the Om chant again and again and again until you feel that bubble burst. When that bubble bursts, check in with yourself. How do you feel? You will notice that that particular sensation that you had, that reaction pertaining to that particular person, place, event, or thing is no longer there. You've cleared it away. I feel it. It's completely vanished. There you go. A very simple exercise that does not take a lot of effort, hardly at all, other than just to mentally Om chant and be aware of that bubble and Om chanting into it until it bursts. And you continue to do that, and you continue to do that, and you continue to do that. We would advise you not to curry favor with problems, not to curry favor with conflicts, not to curry favor with troubles. Because what you're doing is you're just building up much more of that debris that's shortening your lifespan, that's making you ill, that's lowering your vitality, and basically bringing you much more into the feeling of being a wreck. Rather, take action into your own hands. Do you see how simple this can be? Not to mention of many of the exercises that Brad has provided for you on this particular channel. Nothing should be stopping you from doing this. Many of you, in that sense, want to look at conflict because we feel also some of you are entertained by it. And that's really the truth. You look at these things and you feel, oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well, that's interesting. And there's almost a type of entertainment to one's own conflict. But you see, in that sense, that's like entertaining yourself with small doses of poison. And you want to be aware of that. So, utilizing this simple exercise, helping yourself get a grasp upon yourselves, looking at these conflicts that you hold and being able to burst these bubbles with the power of the Om chant, containing the source center vibration, absorbing everything back into the ether, letting the bubble pop. Give this a try. We thank you very much for this interaction, and we will now begin with your question and answer period. Thank you very much. Okay, very good. So that is a very simple exercise. I'd recommend you guys try it. Okay, so I'm just trying to maneuver my chair here so I'm a bit closer to the screen. Okay, so yeah, give that a try. That is a new one. All right, let's go ahead and move on now into the chat. So again, guys, if you do have questions, you can feel free to put it in the chat. I do take the ones that are by donation first. Okay, and then if we have time, then I'll look into the ones that are remaining in chat. The same thing goes with the healing requests, because we'll be doing healing requests right after this. So we'll probably have about a half hour here of questions, and then we'll have about 20 or 25 minutes of healing. Okay, I won't have time to do a group healing today. Okay, just 3 individual requests. If you guys want to look at group healing, so you know I've done it. I just at the last New Earth TV live that I did a group healing, and it's just checking back with that one. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started here with Elizabeth Costello. Okay, so Elizabeth says, can Adronis talk about Tara Hill and Glendalough regards in high energy as people are drawn to these places in Ireland? Okay, well, I can't really talk about people, okay? But basically, if we're talking about high energy places or high energy, or basically regards in high energy as people are drawn to these places in Ireland, okay? So I think what you're trying to say is that there are certain high vibrational spots in Ireland and people are drawn to these particular places, okay? So have Adronis talk a little bit more about that. Okay, yes, I can bring him in and he can share a little bit of elaboration regarding that. Okay, here we go. We thank you very much for your question. Regarding what you would term as high vibratory spaces throughout your area of Ireland, well, again, these are sacred sites. These exist upon the ley lines. These are, again, sacred sites that have been developed throughout your ancient past because they were able to detect this through, again, subtle energy devices and subtle energy work. And they realized that if they built these particular structures, like what you would know as dolmens, or what you would know in that sense as standing stones, again, other particular forms of areas throughout Ireland, throughout England, throughout Scotland, that represent these highly charged places. And if you build a particular, shall we say, structure, like a stone structure, upon these areas, you are basically harnessing the grid. Now, you have to understand that the entire country of England works together very strongly with what you would know as the pentagon geometry. The pentagon geometry basically shows itself quite strongly throughout what you would know as the Avebury Plain, through what you would know again as many of these sacred sites, throughout Stonehenge as well too, that represent a strong harmonic that is calibrated specifically for this area of your planet. And working together with the pentagon will help you to understand a little bit more about the energetics that are taking place in regards to how these monuments, these sacred structures have been constructed. Because they basically form themselves in the nature energetically as the pentagon. And so when you're working together with the pentagon, what does this truly symbolize throughout your ancient culture? It often represents what you term as the 5 elements. And that's what you're seeing here through much of the makeup pertaining to the sacred sites that come here. Whether it be churches, whether it be temples, whether it be castles, whether it be dolmens, whether it be standing stones. They all represent, again, tie-ins to the grid. They have aligned in that particular way. Not only are they structures, but they are also technologies. They are technologies that are harnessing the natural equilibrium pertaining to the Earth's ley line grid, and therefore fertilizing the entire land with that powerful frequency. So these high vibratory places, why are people drawn to it? Because they can feel it inside their heart. They can feel like every single cell within their body is saying, I need to go here because if I stay here, my body is going to be fully rejuvenated. I'm going to feel myself opening up. It's like watching a flower blossom. It's like putting a beautiful garden in this beautiful area where you just intuitively know this is where it needs to go. And you plant that seed and you water it and you nurture it, and what comes out of the harvest is a beautiful, gigantic, blossoming flower that is so fragrant. You would never ever want to leave its space. Well, that's exactly what happens to you when you visit these particular sites. Stay with them for as long as you feel you can, because your heart is drawn to it. Your soul is drawn to it. It is the natural energetics that have been placed upon this planet, and the entire grid was designed to basically fill your entire world with this natural vibration. This is, again, the acupuncture points of the entire planet. And they are opening up these acupuncture points so that it would actually help to raise the kundalini of the planet Earth as well. That was their original design. Unfortunately, much of the grid that once stood, much of it is still deactivated. There are still certain sites that are activated, and there are still certain sites that are deactivated. And so therefore the idea of the reconstruction of the grid will be coming forward for your future generations, because there will be those who will know how to reactivate it. And they will align themselves appropriately to reactivate this grid, so that the original grid that was alive and prosperous during your last golden age will return. All right? We thank you for your question. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your question. Let's go down to IM. IM says, has the world switched to Starlink satellites on or around the 5th of October, and the internet is in the hands of the counterforces? IM, this happened a long time ago. Okay, Starlink has been a part of the counterforce movement really ever since its inception. Its inception has started. Right, we're looking at the idea that Starlink really has actually been a counterforce project since its inception time. This is not something new. I know a lot of people will say that and thinking that, oh, well, Starlink's in here and it must have happened on October 5th. Guys, I think the only thing that really happened on October 5th that many of you were talking about was the testing of the emergency broadcast system. Okay, when you're looking at Starlink satellites, that is something that's been happening for a long time, and that has been in the counterforces possession for a long time as well. So I've actually talked about this in the past, right? We were looking at something that it goes back years in the making, right? Pertaining to the Starlink satellite, that is something that has already been in the counterforces' hands, so to speak, for quite a long time. So no, it's nothing new whatsoever. And yes, people are already accessing the internet with Starlink satellite. That's been around for quite some time now, right? I know people who are actually able to get on the Starlink satellites, and they're just using that internet, and it goes back years. Okay, it's nothing new. So no, it has nothing to do with October 5th. It goes back quite a ways. All right. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Karen Fish says, hi, Brad. What is Adronis' opinion on the war in Israel right now? The feeling as if what is happening is so unreasonable and taken all by huge surprise. What is really going on? Well, Karen, this is exactly what I've been talking about, right? This is the whole idea. Like, we'll get to Adronis here in a minute about it. But guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The whole idea relating to these upheavals, right? To a lot of this tension, to a lot of this fire that is spewing between these different nations is because they're being taken down, okay? Like the Ukraine, Israel itself has been severely compromised. It has been also been a very heavy nest for cabal activity. Okay, that is one of their nests, and that has been a nest for a very, very long time. So, like I said, you're looking as well at underground laboratories. You're looking again at child slavery. You're looking at trafficking. Okay, you're looking at many different things that have happened in the underground of Israel. And what's happening right now is a flushing out of that garbage. It's a flushing out of that debris, just like what's happened with the Ukraine. Okay? Israel, same thing, even in certain areas of Africa. Right? There's been all kinds of slavery trade and trafficking and all kinds of nasty stuff that they've been doing there, right? Sacrificial rituals and all that. A lot of that has been happening, specifically around Israel, specifically around the Ukraine, specifically around areas of Africa, right? A lot of these nests that a lot of these cabal members have basically fortified, all right? But let's take a look through the cards, all right, to take a look at Israel, about what's happening, and is looking at things that are so unreasonable. Guys, if you're looking at this through the media, you're looking at it through rose-colored glasses, okay? You cannot feel like what is happening in Israel based on looking at it through CNN or any other particular form of mainstream media or even alternative stream media. You have to be careful with as well too, right? So just be mindful about that. I've talked about this so far. This is not something new I've talked about. Talked about this for quite a while. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look in regards to what's happening in Israel right now and leading towards its progression forward. Okay, so what is taking place in Israel right now, and what is its momentum ahead? And let's take a look here. So I believe I've talked about Israel quite a few times in the past. Okay. Okay. So yeah, they basically have been fortifying Israel for quite some time, but the good news is there's definitely a war going on in Israel. You're not wrong about that. Okay, there certainly are battles that are taking place, but it feels like there's an impending victory that is coming together here. Okay, so there's been a lot of blood spilt in Israel, and this is because a lot of what's happening can often relate to hostage situations, right? They basically try and hide behind the innocent, and the innocent get in the way of this battle that does take place, right? So there's a bit of a bind right now because it feels like almost the entire country of Israel is just being held hostage right now, right? It's one of those fortified nests of the cabal. But the good news is that this feels like it's going to be ending very soon. Okay, it feels like there's going to be some type of climax that is going to be taking place that again is going to liberate Israel from cabal rule, because the cabal has been a part of that country, nesting there for a very, very long time. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of fighting going on. You're right, and it can be intense. You're right about that too. But like I said, a lot of this stuff needs to happen because this is what happens, guys. You're not going to expect these psychopaths to go quietly into the night, right? They will hold the entire planet hostage. They will hold the entire Earth hostage to try and get what they want, to try and maintain their greed, to try and maintain their foundations, to try to maintain their empire, to try to control the entire population. And they do not want to give this up. Okay, unfortunately, guys, you're going to see some bleakness in areas of certain countries that have been ground zero, I would say, for a lot of cabal activity. And that is exactly what we're seeing with Israel. That's exactly what we've seen with Ukraine. It's exactly what we've seen with South Africa as well, too. It's exactly what we've seen with Australia, okay, Germany, Austria. Okay, these are just a few. Switzerland, okay. These are fortified nests of cabal activity, and they're going to be taken down, right? This is exactly why it needs to come down, because again, it's sweeping out the old so that the world can then heal once the cancer has been removed. It's a surgery that's going on right now, my friends, okay? You have to look at a lot of these battles representing the idea of the immune system responding, fighting a very, very nasty virus. And that's what's taking place right now. Is it pleasant to look at? No, not at all. Do you wish it would stop? Absolutely. But this is something that needs to take place. It's not something within your control. But what you can do is you can give your love. You can give your compassion, right? You can give your support energetically. You can send that love to the entire planet. You can arrange groups that will send loving meditation, whether it be to Israel, whether it be to Australia, whether it be to Ukraine, whether it be to any of these other particular areas that have been fortified by this cabal that only wishes to rule and dominate and control. Okay? And that's something that you can do to give a helping hand. But yes, that is indeed what's happening right now. It is basically being flushed out. Just like Ukraine has been flushed out, Israel is going to be flushed out as well too. All right. Let's go on to the next question here from Gijo. Gijo Matthew says, Adronis, how do we prevent seborrheic dermatitis? Is there a cure for this? Now, guys, I cannot offer you medical advice, okay? That's something very important that I will not do. So sometimes you guys give me medical-based questions or diagnoses in that sense, and I really cannot speak on that on a medical advice level. But I can talk about it on a healing level, okay? And what I would suggest is you guys are getting the essential oils, okay? Because this is, I'm talking from personal experience here, right? Whenever I've had problems, if I've had sore throats, if I've had issues with my chest, sometimes it does get a bit mucousy, then I start using things like ylang-ylang, okay? This is the green ray. This is the green vibrational band. What ylang-ylang does, as well as rosemary, is that it is the green vibrational band and it helps to disinfect. It helps to purify. It is very, very good, particularly working with glands of the body. Okay, so your thyroid gland, for example. Okay, it's also very, very good for working with skin. Okay, so if you have eczema, if you have dermatitis in that particular way, basically this is telling you that there's toxins in the body, often quite commonly heavy metals. Okay, so what you would do is the following combination, because I have these, I work with these, okay? You would put ylang-ylang on the affected area first, okay? Then you would take the etheric essence, frankincense, or you could also take peppermint, because that represents the orange ray vibration, and orange ray dissipates, right? It purges, it releases. That is what you do, okay? So, for example, let's say if I had dermatitis right here on my wrist, okay? So I would just shake up the bottle a little bit. Like I said, there's source center vibration infused in the crystals, and the label on the bottle also has the transcendental codes of etherics. which is commanding the essential oil here to penetrate your skin much more deeper on a cellular level. That's how it's designed, and it works tremendously. Okay, so if I had an affected area right here, I would just start rubbing it like this, clockwise. Okay, just start rubbing it in. Okay, now I've done that. Oh, that feels good. Now that I've done that, we're going to work with frankincense. Okay, I have frankincense here. What is frankincense? It is the orange vibrational band, which means it purges. Okay, it releases, completely clears out a lot of that debris that represents a rash. So you would want to start off firstly with the green vibrational band, okay, either rosemary or ylang-ylang, and then you would work with the orange vibrational band, either frankincense or peppermint, okay? And you'd rub that in, okay? And then just leave it be and reapply it, I'd say, in a couple hours, okay? So maybe I'd say do it about at least 3 times per day. Do it in the morning, wait a couple hours, do it again close to lunch, wait another couple hours, maybe do it before dinner or after dinner or before you go to bed, okay? Applying it 3 times per day. And again, not only does it smell nice, but it's going to work, and it's working on you on a cellular level. Okay, I can't tell you how helpful this has been for me. Working together with congestion, even skin conditions, right? I have acne as well too at times. When I was a teenager, I had horrible acne, and sometimes I still get breakouts. And so I'll use ylang-ylang, and I'll use either frankincense or peppermint as well too. The breakout goes away very quickly. Okay, you can see it getting reduced. It's an amazing feeling. It's exciting watching that. Okay, so the Etherics essential oils, Jijo, is exactly what you should be using. Okay, I'm not here to diagnose a bunch of pills or anything of that nature for you to have, because that's not my position. Okay, if you guys want that, you need to go to a medical doctor. All I really do is just offer healing advice, and I look into Etherics, that is my own brand, and giving you guys the idea of how that can help you. Okay, and it does help you, because we got lots and lots of testimonials on the Etherics website that backs it up. Okay, so get those. Okay, you can also work together with the Etherics card decks. Okay, the healing code cards. The body deck, you can work with a skin enhancer. Okay, skin enhancer will take care of it. You also want to work with circulation. Okay, so you want to use the blood enhancer of the body deck. Okay, so skin enhancer, blood enhancer, right there. You want to make sure you're taking good care of your liver. Okay, so you want to work with a liver enhancer. If there's any pain, if there's stiffness involved, you use the pain eliminator. You use a stiffness eliminator. Okay, that's all there. You have a headache, you use the headache eliminator. Okay, those cards also have everything that you need. Okay, even in the energy deck, we have the color ray purifiers. Okay, so you're working together with some of the bands that I'm talking about, the green ray, okay, the orange ray, the blue ray, the violet ray, etc. All of that is contained in the energy deck. The source deck is also going to have more color ray bands that you can work with as well too. All right, so that is what I recommend, Jijo. Okay, is working together with the Etherics essential oils, the healing code cards, the Etherics card decks, and of course the Taurus bed. Okay, Taurus bed, the greatest one of all, because that's the most powerful one. And just talking to the bed, find out exactly what you need the bed to do for you. Okay, so if I'm laying in bed, I'm placing my hand on the duvet cover, and I'm saying, Taurus bed, work on clearing away my dermatitis. Let it be done. And it's going to go to work for you right in the middle of the night as you're going to sleep. And you're going to notice that each morning that you wake up, it's going to be reduced less and less and less. Right? The greatest cure is working with the power of spirit. And that's exactly what Etherics is all about. Okay? Thank you, Jijo, for your question. Okay. So here's one from Babito7. Thank you for your donation, guys. I appreciate it. Babito7 says, Adronis, can you talk about the hybrid children? Yes. Okay. Sounds good. So we got about 10 more minutes of Q&A, so we'll probably take 1 or 2 more questions after Babito's, and then we're going to move on into distance healing. Okay? So let's look a little bit more into the hybrid children through Adronis' perspective. Here we go. We are here, and we thank you very much, Babito7, for your question pertaining to what is termed as your hybrid children. Now understand that the hybrid children program has basically gone through a greater, shall we say, upliftment in regards to its previous design. The Hybrid Children program was originally constituted by the ones that you would commonly refer to as the Greys. Now again, these Greys basically represented what you would term as the survivors of an interdimensional Earth. We're not talking about the programmable life form Greys. We're talking about the Greys in that sense that were the original survivors and basically came here from one-dimensional Earth upon your plane itself. And that for them to preserve their race, they had the agenda to assist in mixing their own genetic stock together with the genetic stock of certain volunteers that would come here on the planet that would volunteer themselves on an energetic level. But because much of humanity in that sense is not in touch in regards to soul agreements, there would often be a great deal of fear that would come together pertaining to these visitations that would take place. Where in that sense, for example, a young female would suddenly wake up on board a ship and they would see again these gray beings around them, and they may be in that sense in a great deal of fear. Now what the Greys would commonly do is they would have liaisons, which means they would have either other hybrids there with them, or they may have in that sense other humans there as well too. And by other humans we refer to humans not born upon your Earth, what you would refer to as humans of the stars. And they may be there just to bring calmness because the Greys really did not know how to deal with emotional humans. And so there would be often telepathic calmness coming upon the hostess in that way that would therefore house the hybrid child to be born through their womb. Now what would take place here in that sense is that there was a time acceleration magnetic field that would basically function as a particular type of, shall we say, apparatus that the woman in question would actually go through a type of pregnancy acceleration, working together with magnetic fields that would basically, shall we say, conduct the nature of an acceleration of time. So therefore, looking at the idea of receiving a process of going through 9 months of pregnancy within a matter of minutes. And so there was a time accelerator apparatus that was taking place that would often be utilized to, in that sense, speed up the pregnancy. And this can be done. It is actually very possible to bottle time. It is very, very possible to contain time in a certain space. They have this ability. And so they would, as you would say, contain time within a certain space, again, around the female. And they would be able to increase and accelerate the pregnancy pertaining to the hybrid child. And so there was an insemination that would take place that would be a mixture between human DNA and the DNA of the Greys. But understand that the Greys themselves are also human. That is why they are so compatible in regards to this. Now again, they could not produce semen themselves. And so it also came through male volunteers as well. So they would basically work together with the semen, and they would put, again, certain engrams relating to their own DNA in together with the semen. They would also work together with the, shall we say, egg, and they would also start to put their own DNA together within the egg. And this would therefore create the mixture, enabling the birth of a hybrid child. Through their technology that they had, it is actually quite simple to, in that sense, impregnate a woman and being able to work with time acceleration so that that particular 9-month pregnancy would be done within a matter of minutes. When the child is born, it would remain upon the vessels of the Greys, and it would be raised in that particular way. Many of the hybrid children have never really actually stepped upon your Earth. Some of them may get that privilege, but not all of them. Many of them will be raised upon spacecraft, and they will, as they progress through age, because the only time acceleration is being used is through the nature of the pregnancy process, but it is not meant to, in that sense, engage through the nature of birth. That will follow a natural cycle. This is also that the woman in that sense is not spending, as it were, too much time upon the spacecraft, is that she is placed upon a slab, and therefore the field that represents time acceleration is placed upon her in a contained space that therefore represents acceleration, not affecting the time or progression relating to age of the hostess in question, but just relating to the fetus itself. And as that happens, and once the child is born, the fetus is then reversed in regards back to its natural equilibrium pertaining to the appropriate age of the female in question. Therefore, the female returns back into their own home. They may in that sense awaken and feel like it was all a dream. That this actually took place, but it must have been a very lucid dream, a very vivid dream. And they may have recollections of that over the years. As the years pass, they may discover that there's a young child that's actually trying to make telepathic contact with them. That they are actually trying to tell them about names. They're actually able to see a young hybrid child's face. And they may even receive a particular name of that hybrid child. And that hybrid child may continuously be in contact with the parent itself. Sometimes it can even be with the father. Mostly, it is with the mother. And the mother will receive these particular downloads. Now, this particular form of nature relating to the hybrid program often began between your 1940s and your 1950s. It has been happening for quite some time. But as we stated, there's been a change in management because the hybrids are running the programs now. The Greys are no longer running any of the hybrid programs anymore. In fact, this stopped quite a few years ago. It is mostly the children that are now taking it over and are working much more in a voluntary level and will actually give, shall we say, earlier forms of contact and a much more pleasant environment when this is taking place. So that is, in that sense, what we can share pertaining to the hybrid children. Many of them are above your planet. Many of them will exist upon arcs, as we have commonly termed them, and they basically represent schooling centers. And they will basically work together with certain degrees of holography because they are looking to mimic areas of the earth where they are interacting with certain humans. Because they are, again, getting used to indoctrinating themselves to, at some particular point, sharing the earth with you. That is going to happen, but that will not be happening until a global first contact does take place. And that is still a couple of decades away at least. So that is what we can share right now pertaining to the hybrid children. We thank you. Okay. Thank you, Babito, for your question. Let's go down here a bit more. All right. I think that was the last question. And I think we're going to move on to distance healing now. So again, guys, thank you very much for your questions. We're going to go on into distance healing. Like I said, it's kind of a short day today. I'll see if I have a little bit more time on Thursday and Friday next week so we can get more questions going. So let's go into distance healing requests right now. So I think there was a donation that was down here. This one is from Golden Rule. But Golden Rule, I don't believe I see. Celebrate their first super on a live stream. Oh, congratulations, Golden Rule, for being here. I don't think I saw a question from you, Golden Rule. I'm just seeing if there's a question that's above or below your donation, but I don't really see one. Okay. So anyways, but thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. Let's go into healing requests right now. Okay, I'm going to work with 3 volunteers. Okay, so again, if you want to request a healing either for yourself or for others, you can feel free to put that down on the chat. Okay. So let me just go through the chat here, just to make sure I'm not missing anybody regarding distance healing. Okay. Well, I know someone just asked about, could you please ask about the time-space continuum and how to change the time-space center of walls of you? Guys, there really is no such thing as a space-time continuum. Space is not a continuum. Time is not a continuum. They're measurements, okay? I know that's what modern science tells you about the idea of space and time continuum. It's like Adronis says, if there really was a continuum, why would there be species that are able to bottle time, okay? Bottling time is just basically working together with a particular type of magnetic. Okay? It has nothing to do with a continuum. that would basically try to give space and time much more credence than what it is given. Okay? All time is a measurement of a temporal field. All space is a grid representing a location of measurement. Okay? So if we put a grid over something, let's go, here's alpha, beta, gamma, delta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go to gamma 5 square. Okay? That relates to the nature of location. Okay? Space and time do not have a continuum. It doesn't work that way. This is all magnetics, my friends. Okay? So you have to understand the nature of magnetics a little bit more. To working together with the nature of magnetism is looking at high pressure, is looking at low pressure. When you are looking at the continuation of time, that is the flow of magnetism, not time. But magnetism is part of the dielectric field. The dielectric field is a perturbation of the ether. Okay? So in that particular context, space and time do not have a continuum happenstance. Okay? It relates to measurement. That's all it is. Time is measurement, space is measurement, nothing more. There is nothing in regards to a continuum. And I know that's not what we've been taught by science, but unfortunately science has got it wrong. Okay, you have to look into the nature of magnetism. It's very much like what Nikola Tesla would say. If you want to know the mysteries of the universe, look into vibration, frequency, and energy. Okay? Vibration, frequency, and energy are all perturbations of the ether. That's what it represents. The ether is the very thing, basically I would say the very not a thing, that is responsible for all of this, that is responsible for all of life. But we're not taught that. Okay? So when you're looking at time and space and how to bend time and space, how can you bend measurement? That's like you're just trying to go ahead and bend a ruler. Okay? All you're looking at through the nature of time is measurement. All you're looking at the nature of space as location is measurement. But space itself truly has no properties. Time itself, again, is just a measurement property. Right? Location, in that sense, is just a measurement property. So I could go on and on about that. It's quite a long discussion. But we're, again, often misconstrued by these things. Okay, I'm just going to look for any distance healing requests right now. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I got a question here, a request here from Sensei. Sensei says, "Hi, Brad. Would you be able to do healing on my son Elliot? Deep blessings." Okay, I wasn't too sure what the type of healing was. If it's just a rejuvenation healing, which I guess I will do for Elliot, that's not a problem. Okay. So yeah, Golden Rule, I'm not seeing your question. So I see you here. Hello, my question didn't go through. So Golden Rule, if you want to type in your question, just where you are right now, and I'll see if I can check up with you after I take care of Sensei's healing request here. Okay. So please just type your question out again, Golden Rule, because I didn't see a question here with your donation. All right. Okay, so Sensei, I'll work on Elliot, and I think we'll just do a rejuvenation healing because I didn't get any specifics about what you wanted done. All right. So let's go ahead and just take a moment, and I'm just going to be connecting to your son's higher self, Sensei. Okay, we will go ahead now, and we will begin. Okay, So thank you very much, Sensei. I just went ahead and just did a general cleaning of Elliot's body, just clearing away any debris on the surface of his organs, his glands, his bodily systems, and also just placing the source center vibration into those areas as well too. All right, so hope he feels better, and thank you both. Blessings to you. Okay, so okay, I still haven't heard from Golden Rule yet. Okay, here's one from Listen. Listen says, Brad, can you please do a distance healing on my daughter Chloe for anxiety and low self-esteem? She has low confidence, and I'm afraid people may be bullying her. Okay, no problem. We will go ahead and work on that. So this is for Chloe. So basically just doing an emotional healing. I think we'll probably work on the heart space a lot, right? Because I think that will basically impact her heart if there's been a lot of bullying going on with her as well too. And we'll just put, again, a lot of a strong vitality field around her too. I think that will help her out. All right, we will go ahead and do that now. So just take a moment to connect with Chloe's energy. Okay, and we will go ahead now and begin. Okay, so listen, I went ahead and worked on Chloe. Okay, so I just worked on her heart. I just worked a lot on her emotional and mental body as well too. Okay, just helping to clear a lot of that out. Like I said, I'm not here to 100% clear that out for her. All we're really doing is just softening it, making it lighter for her, making it a little bit more bearable so that she can get her bearings back, and that maybe she'll be a little bit more expressive in regards to what she's going through. Okay, so it's basically just healing to help. It's not healing to get rid of any of these things. Right? This is something that she still needs to look at so that she can therefore get strength from it. Okay? So continue to help her, continue just to give her love and give her compassion. Let her know that you're always there for her. Even if she doesn't want to talk, just let her know that you're there for her. Okay? That's so very important. Blessings to you both, and thank you. Okay. Let me go to and see if Golden Rule returned. Okay, so Golden Rule said, Brad, could you have Adronis speak about having metal plates inside the body? He has talked about this in the past. Okay, now metal plates in the body, I mean, you can have them, but the whole idea is that they will be very, very detrimental in regards to energy flow throughout the body. Okay, you will often have a lot of stagnant problems relating to having metal plates in the body, and I know quite a few people do, and I understand that. It's the same thing as if you have metal fillings in your mouth. Okay, it basically disrupts and causes problems with the magnetic field, and it basically causes degradation over time. Okay, but through medical science, that's often what they'll use. They'll put plates in your arm, or they'll put plates in your leg, or they'll give you an artificial hip or something of that nature. So yeah, you need to be a little bit more conscientious with that. Basically, what I would suggest is start doing a lot more Qigong, do a lot more energy exercises on a regular basis, just to help maintain your magnetic field as prosperously as you can. Right? I know some people may need to have those plates on their arms or in areas of their body that they may need for the rest of their life, and that's understandable. But what I would suggest is just continuing to work together with managing your energy body. Okay, so working with Qigong, working with Tai Chi, working with martial arts, working with inner alchemy. Okay, working with pranayama breath control, just getting a lot more equilibrium in your body. Even though you may have that artificial hip or you may have a plate in your arm or something of that nature, you're still working together with your energy body and you're still maintaining in majority a strong equilibrium with your magnetic field, okay, with your living life vital force. It would also be good in that sense also to get massages around the areas to where those plates are, okay? So if you have something on your forearm here, if you have a hip replacement or anything of that nature, work to get a lot more massages and a lot more care, a lot more physical care too, in those areas as well too, so that it's not interrupting blood circulation, okay? That is another important thing. That's what I can suggest altogether. He has talked about that in the past, okay? Thank you, Golden Rule. All right, we're going to take one more healing request. And let me see. Okay. For some reason I was called a Chad here. But I got two more. We can only do one more, guys. Okay, so Paula, I might have to get to you next time. Okay, so again, just come back next Friday. Next Friday I will be doing distance healing as well. So we're going to end here with Jan. Okay, so Jan says, healing for Ruth Zipnik in congestive heart failure, high blood pressure and dizziness and cloudiness in your head. Thank you for your help. So this is our last one, guys, and I got to wrap up the broadcast after this. Okay, so Jan, I will go ahead and work with Ruth now. So Jan, if you want to do some healing work with Ruth also in the background, you're welcome to. Anybody else is welcome to as well. Okay, so healing for Ruth, high blood pressure, dizziness, and cloudiness in her head. Well, that all just relates to the high blood pressure because she has a toxic liver. Okay, so Jan, you best want to talk to Ruth, making sure that she's taking good care of her liver and work with liver cleanses. Okay, she needs to get her liver in order. When you get high blood pressure, guys, that tells you there's a compromised liver. Okay, it could be a fatty liver, it could be a toxic liver, it could be a liver that has quite a bit of heavy metals in it. Okay, this is where you want to make sure you're getting the Etherics body deck. Okay, and you work with the heavy metal eliminator. You put that card on your liver, you put that card on different areas of your body, and you just start letting the heavy metals get evacuated. I've had quite a few people who have used the heavy metal eliminator and said, Brad, I felt like I had like a really bad rash. It's gone away now. Person has woke up in the middle of the night and had metal deposits on his tongue and had to use a tongue scraper and cleaned all the metal off his tongue because he used the heavy metal eliminator the night before. Okay, I've had quite a few stories about the heavy metal eliminator. Okay, so get the body deck and get the heavy metal eliminator. You guys should all be having the Etherics card decks. That's mandatory. Okay, that's what I'd recommend. Other than that, I would suggest you look into the medical medium stuff. Okay, with celery juice and with the heavy metal detox smoothie. Right, I think with getting all the ingredients of the heavy metal detox smoothie, the body deck's a lot more cheaper. That's just my own perspective on it. Okay, so getting the heavy metal eliminator in the body deck. Okay, and again, working with the organ cards alongside it. So heavy metal eliminator and liver enhancer, heavy metal eliminator and stomach enhancer, heavy metal eliminator and heart enhancer. Okay, working together with those combinations. Are you guys watching the combination videos that I have on YouTube about the body deck, about the energy deck, about the mind deck? You should be looking at that, right? This is all stuff that I have supplied for you guys that is available, right? And it's very affordable to get the cards and to start working with them, okay? Very, very important because they do incredible work, right? So that is what I would suggest. Specifically, Jan, to tell Ruth, okay? Work on your heart, work on your liver, get heavy metals out of your body, okay? Because that's what I'm feeling as I'm looking into her field right now. She has a lot of heavy metal deposits. She basically has a lot of poisoning within her body as well too. Okay, but we'll work specifically with her circulatory system, her nervous system, her heart, and her liver. Okay, that's what I'm gonna work on, and I'll see if we can do a heavy metal detox flush through healing as well. All right, so I will go ahead and do that now for Ruth. Here we go. Okay, so that has been done for Ruth Jan. Okay, so Ruth Jen, you can just let Ruth know that healing has been done for her. Okay, please remind her of the healing code cards of the body deck. Okay, I think that will help her extensively with the situation she's going through. I also feel there's a lot of emotional and mental pain that she's been going through as well too that adds to this. So what I would suggest is, if she's willing, if she wants to talk to me through a session, that might be a good idea, because I can work with her extensively. Okay, especially when I start launching the brand new full body source healing session. That might be good for her, as long as you have permission with another person. Then I can work on them through the full body source healing session that will be debuting next week. Okay, I'll be mentioning that on Thursday on the signposts with this brand new session. You do not need to tell me at all what's wrong with you. I will be able to find it. Okay, and being able to correct a lot of these things. It's a lot of work. Okay, so it is. It's a little bit pricey, because I have to do a lot of work. Right, that's basically, for me to complete a session would take on average about close to 2 hours. Okay, I'm very thorough with your body, and believe me, it's worth it, because once you have those sessions, you probably wouldn't need to see me for another one of those sessions for at least a year. Okay, so it really pays off, and it's well worth it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's broadcast here for a special edition, the Sunday edition of New Earth TV Live. I will see you again this Thursday for Signposts Live, and Friday next week for another episode of New Earth TV Live as well too. Blessings to you all. Thank you for your questions. They were great. Thank you for your donations. I appreciate that. And thank you for your healing quests as well. Blessings to you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar. May it be well with you. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to New Earth Teachings on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can do private sessions with me, and also etherics.co. And through Etherics, you'll be able to pick up your Healing Code Cards body deck, your mind deck, and your energy deck through Etherics. You will also be able to pick up the Etherbed kit. That is also on Etherics as well. Not to mention that you'll also be able to pick up some apparel and accessories that is also available on Etherics. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Om Shanti, 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 Namaskar, and may it be well with you.